Hello everyone, welcome to this session SLAT 2022. I hope all of you can hear me and you can see me. My name is Krishnendu and we also have Abhimanyu sir right there, and we both will together try and help you with the analysis part of this exam. Please confirm everybody, can you hear me and see me? In fact, both of us in the chat box quickly. Let me see. And I can see a lot of questions which are written there in the chat box. Don't worry about it. We'll answer all those questions one by one. Abhimanyu sir.
Hi sir, welcome sir. Welcome everyone. I hope all of you are doing well now that finally your SLAT is done. Pretty sure you would be quite stoked. The exam within which you were waiting for, general awareness, be it legal, be it any other section. All sections were absolutely doable. Pretty sure you guys were in for a treat. How much were you aware? How much happy you were seeing general awareness and other sections? Please do share. So, KD sir, lots of students have been saying that the cutoff seems to be really high in SLAT.
Yeah, I mean, we'll come. Of course, we'll come to that question. That question is a very important one. In fact, I can see a lot of you asking the same thing. What would be the cutoff for Noida, for Pune, and other such questions? We'll answer that also. Very clearly, remember, guys, you might think the cutoff is going to go up or is going to go down, but cutoff will depend on two very clear things. First is what was the level of the exam, and second, more importantly, what was the level of the question paper takers, the exam takers. If their level was on the lower side, cutoff will come down. If the paper was extremely difficult and students were prepared, the cutoff can still come down. But overall, I think the paper was on the easier side. Abhimanyu sir, what do you think about it?
Absolutely. So the student feedback that we've received so far, students have said that this was one of the easiest papers compared to obviously the other ones. And the cutoffs also, justify the same. If you look at the previous year cutoffs as well, quite high they were. But then again, the difficulty level of the paper was quite doable, and same is the case this time round as well. Especially if we talk about general awareness section, which is one of the most dreaded section, students lose their confidence in case they are not able to answer one or two questions. But here we had 12 questions at 12 all the questions extremely doable. If you talk about legal, super duper easy questions. If you talk about analytical reasoning, yes, some things required some time. But overall, if you talk about the student feedback and whatever feedback we've received, definitely the paper was
even the logical reasoning, yeah, in the logical reasoning and English section, they were also on the easier side. So overall, the paper can be called easy, and I can see a lot of questions from Jayant, Aditi, Udeshi, Jigyasa. I'll come to those answers, of course, because students are, of course, they have expectations. They are like, I have done 43, 44. Do I have a chance? We'll come to that. We have done the analysis, but we will share that with you in a short while.
So let me, to add
yeah,
to that, sir,
yes,
students, those of you who have just joined us, let us, me and KD sir are here to answer every query of yours.
absolutely.
Till the time your queries are not answered, we'll not be going today. So be it the cutoff, respective college cutoff, we'll be talking about that as well. We'll talk about the entire paper also, and then we'll wrap off. End the session over, by talking and giving you some insights about the VAT and TI as well. So lots of things you can expect here
absolutely.
in this session.
So you have to stay tuned with us. Shrek Kapish will answer that question also. We have that on the screen coming your way in a short while. Before I move on, let me quickly ask everyone, can you guys please tell us in the chat what was your attempt? Don't tell us how much you expect, because your expectations can be different, but how many questions did you attempt? Just write that in the chat box quickly, everybody. Can you please write that? I am going to wait. We are going to wait and see how many questions did you attempt. Okay, I'm going to wait for that. Please quickly write it and send it to me.
So there has been a poll as well which has been asked, how did your SLAT paper go? So a majority of you, 54% of you have shared that it went really good. So that means definitely the college that you are aiming for, that is symbiosis Pune or Noida or whichever your symbiosis is, you do stand a chance because majority of the students found this easy. 54% of you are saying that yes, it was doable. I'm pretty sure.
Exactly. In fact, if you look at the attempts, Abhimanyu, it's almost 60, 59, 55, 54, 58. So that in itself explains the paper was on the easier side.
Correct.
Correct.
Absolutely. Each year's SLAT, since the pattern has changed for SLAT, we've seen that the difficulty level has gone drastically down, and because of that, it gives a fair shot for students who actually work really hard. And I'm sure whatever we've studied in the classes for logical or English or GK or legal or any other subject, I'm sure it did pay dividends.
Arohi has asked a question that during the exam they took away the admit card and they did not return. Don't worry about that, Arohi. It's primarily because some students copy questions and they take home those questions, so they just want to avoid that. That's why they do it. So don't worry about that. That's totally normal.
Wow. So another poll we conducted on our YouTube.
Yes.
Share your number of attempts. Successful attempts. 88% of the students have shared that they are hoping for a score of more than 50. Attempted 50 plus. Wow. Amazing this is.
Yes.
GK was easy but random. GK is always random, buddy. There's no pattern to general awareness. They can't ask
exactly.
you. If it's SLAT, possibly there will be a pattern for sure. There will be 5 questions on one particular topic. But otherwise, in such exams, it has to be random. Otherwise, it will be really unfair.
Right.
60 attempted, I think 45 to 50 for sure. Very good.
And
all right, let's go.
And one more important thing that please remember, if you have attempted 60 questions and even if you are reasonably sure about 80% of them or 85% of them, you are going to get a good college under the Symbiosis umbrella. It may not be the top one, but you are going to get. So I can see a lot of questions asking, I have done 60 questions and my attempts, and I'm probably going to get 45 or 50 marks. Do I have a chance? Definitely you have a chance, but in terms of the college you are going to get, probably you would get the second or third choice, but we'll come to that as well in a short while. Okay, Minister, should we move ahead
yes,
now?
Sir,
yeah,
begin.
Because I can see a lot of questions already, so we need to answer all of them as we discussed earlier, right? So, moving on. So, we are going to discuss what exactly are we planning to do in the next couple of hours, right? So, the first thing we would discuss would be the exam pattern that we had. So as you guys obviously, of course, you know that the time limitations, and there were no sectional cutoff, sectional time limit for the objective part. 1 mark was awarded for each correct MCQ, which is the question. And Minister, don't you think this is the reason why a lot of students overestimate their own attempts, and that is basically this no negative marking thing? Because when, just a second. So
students have to play with negative marking. Absolutely.
Exactly.
So when there is no negative marking, obviously you will have to fill in all the 60 options. And if you are just randomly marking, you tend to play negatively with probability. So to get the most out of it, we've shared this with number of students, number of times. All of you, I'm sure, have marked with the strategy that we discussed. Just pick one option and mark all the same. I'm pretty sure that would definitely give you dividends if you did that.
Yes.
60 minutes, no sectional time limit, and every student that I had a word with said that the paper, they completed the paper within 45 to 50 minutes. So they had time to spare.
Right.
So pretty much sure that time was not a constraint for anyone.
And here, sir, Abhimanyu sir, I need to answer a question here. Yes, Shruti Alampalli, she is asking, will the cutoff for the BA LLB be higher than the BB LLB at Pune? We know the answer, but would you like to answer that question?
Yes, sir, absolutely. The cutoff for BA LLB is always higher than BB LLB.
Absolutely.
Yes,
and if you go by the score, I think it would be about 5 marks between the two. 5 odd marks.
initially, but
Yeah.
now that the exam is just 60 marks,
Mhm.
60 questions are there, so we can expect a shorter, difference.
Right. Okay. So I hope that question was answered. Arjun says paper was a bit lengthy. Would you agree?
Probably if Arjun is saying Arjun, right? So Arjun is saying that Arjun is someone who is I'm sure given lots of mock tests. And if that was not the case, then why you haven't been able to attempt all the questions. It's as simple as that. The more you practice, the more quicker you get. If you practiced well for CLAT and ALET, I can bet this. If you've given 20 plus mock tests for CLAT, for
Yes.
ALET, you would be finishing this exam in 45 minutes, in 50 minutes. You'll have time to spare for sure, sir.
Right. Udeshi.com, you have been a regular student, of course, with us.
So should I feel SLS Noida is second preference? We'll talk about the same.
Yes.
Definitely. Let's address certain key highlights of the exam. First of all, let's talk about this. When we talk about the cutoff, that is the time we'll talk about each college, their merits and their demerits, and which is the college that you should opt for, which should be your first, second, third, fourth preference, and whether you should go to them or not as well. I will definitely share my honest opinion. KT sir will also do the same, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. So I'm getting a couple of more questions here.
Sir, university is so expensive. Yes, absolutely. So you'll have to be careful here. You'll have to understand that if the university is asking you a huge amount of money, it is completely worth it. If you go to SLS Pune, the ROI is the best over there. We all know this.
Absolutely.
Rest, all the other universities, return on investment, we'll talk about this as we discussed towards the end.
So moving ahead, negative marking we discussed, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, the next thing that, of course, this is something you all know, and this year paper being easy, on an average we have seen students have practically attempted the entire paper, right? Now that includes some amount of guesswork, we know that, right? So some of you may have just done, okay, let's go for A or C. You might have done with some questions, or you might have not been very sure, but you may have taken a kind of just guess there, quite possible, right? Therefore, remember, you might hear that everybody has attempted 60 questions, but the cutoff will not be that high. It will come down because there are going to be some blind guesses also. Abhimanyu sir, what do you think about it?
Absolutely, sir. I'm sure all the students would agree to this as well. So there were 60 questions again on the expected lines, 12 questions each for every section: logical, legal, analytical, reading, GK. I'm sure people who have attempted all our mock tests would definitely benefit immensely in this exam. How the questions, what is the difficulty level section wise? Do share. Let's see before we move on to each section. What is your take? Sir,
Right.
if you talk about 12 questions each, if given a choice, I'm sure all the students had their own set of precedence in order of attempt. If it was me, I would have started with general awareness section. I would have started with GK, because 12 questions done within 2 to 3 minutes, and
true.
I'm confident now that 57 minutes left, 55 minutes left, and I just have 4 more sections to do. So psychological boost it gives you, because in GK either you know it or you don't. So I think that should have been the strategy. What was your strategy? Do share the same as well.
I mean, I think by now all the students we have taught in the last 1 or 2 years, they have got this habit that they start with GK first, because GK takes the least amount of time and you become confident about your attempts, and then of course they go to any of the sections that they like the most. For example, it might be analytical reasoning, it might be legal, it might be reading comprehension. But in this exam, I think after GK you could have chosen any, but there is a question on the screen you have to answer. Let us know what was the easiest section according to you. Okay, let me look at the results now.
1%, more than 50% students have opted for they are saying that legal was the easiest of the all sections.
Okay.
General awareness 7%, reading comprehension 31%, and the rest says analytical and logical.
All right. Of course, I can also see one or two questions which I think we'll answer in a while in terms of ranking of college and which college should we go for. I think that's a very important question that we have to answer, right? We'll come to that.
Yes, definitely we will.
Yes.
So 50 minutes were left, and I had to do only 3 sections. So that is what we are talking about. Speed,
exactly.
Advantage of speed, right? So if there is a proper strategy in place, I'm sure you benefit out of it.
Definitely.
Right, sir.
So this is our understanding of the paper. Let us know, everyone, do you agree, disagree, and that logical reasoning, legal reasoning, analytical reasoning, reading comprehension and GK. Of course,
so
except
about logical reasoning, sir, difficulty level, students have been saying it is easy. What is the general feedback that you received? So logical reasoning, what are the kind of questions?
One of the comments I just read was that analytical reasoning, mera sar kha gaya. So some students have felt that also, that it was not that easy. But I think broadly students are saying it was okay, but it was not easy.
Person to person.
Yeah, exactly. So logical reasoning, I think I saw the question pattern and I thought it could be an easy one. Legal, easy to moderate, that's what students are saying, but let's see.
So legal, actually, the kind of topics from which the questions were asked, they were totally doable. Questions like they were from torts, be it contract. Majority questions were from criminal as well, and basic questions, where basic knowledge. If you had attended all our classes, pretty sure legal is a section where you'd aim to score 12 on 12. Okay. Pretty much everyone here has agreed to this. They've said that it was the easiest section for them. That means definitely you guys have aced legal. So all the studies that you've been doing are all worth it. Absolutely. Sir, will you discuss the answers? Yes, we'll discuss a few questions as well. We'll discuss the answers with you guys for some questions as well. GK wasn't easy, sir. Easy though, it all depends on your preparation level. Yes. I put in the preparation. Yes, sir. So yes, it all depends. But, in fact, one of you actually said something nice about us. So the comment has moved on. I'm not able to read, but one of you said that in the logical reasoning and legal reasoning, the difficulty level should be interchanged. For example, logical should become easy to moderate and legal should become easy. As we discussed earlier, that depends entirely on your preparation level, of course, and it would vary from person to person. I think you guys agree to that, right? Okay. Absolutely. Now, just a second. Where did that vanish? Just a second, sir. Difficulty level, as you've seen, is easy and good attempts. Number of good attempts we've seen here. You can see 44 to 50 correct answers. If you are having this many, you definitely stand a good chance. Correct. Of getting symbiosis. Right. Now this number is very important. I think we need to spend a couple of seconds here. I hope I'm able to write. Yeah. So the first thing we see here is that we are saying, remember guys, we are saying 44 to 50 is a good attempt. Does it mean that if you have attempted 44 to 50 with 50% accuracy, would you get Pune? Definitely not. Right. So that point has to be very clear. This is a good attempt. It basically means that if your accuracy is about 85 to 90%, you're going to get into probably the top 3 choices that we have under symbiosis. Am I right? Manu sir? Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. So don't take it as a final thing. It is basically for the top 3 probably. Absolutely. Sure. So now let's move on subject wise. Let's talk about subject one by one. This thing vanished. So let me try again. Let's start off with logical reasoning. So did they return? Some of them did not return the admit card. Yeah. So why did you ask for the same? It was definitely your job to ask for the admit card. Should have asked. Why did they take this? Chali, anyways, do drop in a mail to the concerned body, right? Helpline number. Give them a call and let them know that this has happened. Right. So so that and if any issue has to be created by them, then they do it, ASAP. So, okay. Show us the paper. We can't show you the paper, but if the paper was not not in the physical format, nor cheating was allowed, nor carrying your digital device was allowed to take in the examination hall, that we could go and take screenshots of all the questions. But yes, we will discuss the memory based questions with all of you real soon. We'll move on to logical reasoning later on. Let's move on to the other subjects, sir. Till the time.
Yeah, just trying to do that. Facing some technical problem, I guess. Just a second, Abhimanyu. You continue.
What I'll do is, let's start discussing about general awareness. Right. Let's start off with general awareness, GK. If we talk about GK, I'm sure all of you would be happy reading certain questions. Some questions were absolutely doable. Say for example, the question was asked on Nobel Prizes. The first question on Nobel Prizes, pretty sure all of you know the answer for that. Do share. Divya Singh, Abhi sir, the paper was super duper easy. Absolutely, as was expected. I had shared this before as well. So yes, I'm sure everyone knew the answer for the Nobel Prize. The question on Nobel Prize, along with Dmitry Muratov, who was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, was the question. Pretty sure all of you got the correct answer. What did you mark? Do share with us. Sir, NLU, Odisha or Symbiosis, please suggest. But definitely National University, Odisha, for sure. No doubts regarding that.
So, Abhimanyu sir, because of the technical issue, we have straight away come to the GK slide.
Yes,
you can continue there.
Let's start with general awareness. Yep. Let's continue. So, general awareness, we saw that along with Dmitry Muratov. So, the correct answer for this, beta Malala kisne likh diya, very bad. The correct answer was Maria Ressa. Yes, Maria Ressa. The first class that we conducted, I told you, we discussed that this will definitely be there in one exam or the other, right? This was among the leaked questions that definitely will be there in one exam or the other, right? Each year this is asked, and we saw this again. So, Nobel Prize, Peace Prize students would be appearing for the next year. Do keep this in mind that this is a must do. Nobel Prize winners, you should be aware of. Let's move on to the next one. So, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment formulated a scheme, SMILE, which caters to what? Now guys, let me share this with you all, that whatever we are sharing here is based on the hearsay, right? So whatever we have heard from the students, whatever the student feedback we have received, all the knowledge that we are giving or sharing with you is based on that. The questions also are memory based, so it can be a little different. So in case that is the case, do share with us in the chat. So yes, what was the answer for the second question? Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has formulated a scheme, SMILE, which caters to dash. What is your answer? Quickly share your answers. Sir, लग रहा है बच्चों ने आंसर नहीं दिया इसका. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. I can hear you here. Absolutely clearly. Archana says, yeah.
Archana, please check your internet, buddy. Something wrong with your internet. Everything is fine here at our end. So the answer, anyways, was bigots and transgenders aim for comprehensive rehabilitation of persons engaged in begging. Now, this was a question which came from July 2021. So, 1 year back. So, you can see, I'm happy to see that only Sneh has got this correct answer. Why? Achha, maybe you were not, maybe you didn't remember. This was a question that was a tough one. All right. So, let's mark this. That majority of you left this one. All right. Left this. Oh, okay. Understood. Let's move on to the third question. First sight of Ancient you can see ancient Indus Valley civilization which received UNESCO World Heritage Tag. Now, when we were studying history, lots of you were wondering, so why are we studying history? What is the use of the same? We studied history, plus we related it to current affairs. A recent current affair happened. We all know the answer to this is very simple. What is the answer, guys? For a first site of ancient Indus Valley civilization, which received very good Uddesha, absolutely correct, Dholavira. Itna jaldi answer aa gaya. For this question, everyone is just, it's raining answers. So this was again discussed numerous times, thousands of times. Pretty sure all of you get this one right as you guys did. So well done, everyone. Fantastic. Dholavira in Gujarat, absolutely fantastic. Great job. So yes, Dholavira is in Kutch district. That is the correct answer as well. Discovered in 1968. This was again a current affair which came from the month of July 2021. Right. So again, you can see if you look at the duration of the exam. Right. So last 12 months, the questions have been asked from last 12 months. Right. So majority questions have been in the recent past. Now you'll see. So name the injection which is approved by FDA to prevent HIV. What is the correct answer? This is I marked this third one wrong. Arey beta, this was done in the class. Chalo koi baat nahi, let bygones be bygones. Fourth question, what is your answer? Name the injection which is approved by FDA to prevent HIV. Fourth question. The correct answer for this one, let's see how many of you know the answer. This is a current affair from the month of December. Current affair from the month of December. The correct answer for this one, after something, says Monisha. Very good. Well done. It is. Yes, after something is absolutely correct. It is aptitude. Absolutely correct. Well done. So good job. Yes, this is from the month of December 2021, this news. So happy to see Abhimanyu, my namesake, getting this correct. Preeti, Aditi, Monisha, well done. Good job to all of you. Rest of you, did not attempt this. That means you did not read the CLAT Ignite, right? So if you did read CLAT Ignite, you were pretty much sorted any which ways. If you haven't read this already, make sure you start doing this starting from now. All right, let's move on to the next one. India dropped Abide With Me, a Scottish hymn from the beating retreat of Republic Day. It was replaced by dash. So what is the answer for this question? The fifth question. Now the problem is when you randomly mark, when you don't remember questions, you don't remember answers as well, right? When we see options, we have trained our mind in a way that when we look at the options, we tend to mark the correct one, right? So it is completely okay. Don't worry. I'm sure you guys have got this correct. Even if you don't remember the correct answer right now, I'm sure you marked the correct one, right? "Air Mere Watan" says Kazi. "Air Mere Watan," kya baat hai. Well done, every one of you. Good job. Well done. The patriotic Hindi song "Air Mere Watan" ke logo, absolutely correct. This is from the obviously Republic Day, so January 2022. "Air Mere Watan" is the correct answer. So well done, good job, very good namesake. And Anchal, Pooja, well done guys. Divya, Chad, well done everyone. Nipun got this one wrong, but don't worry, koi baat nahi. Let's compensate from other questions, right? All right, next is the easiest question of them all. Identify Indian mathematician who received the Ramanujan Prize 2021. So do share your answers, guys, for this one. The 2021 Ramanujan Prize. Very good, Priyanshu. Divya, absolutely correct. Bang on. Well done, well done, well done. Good job, Kazi. Uddesha, absolutely correct. NG, let's go, let's go. Well done, Shafak. Neena Gupta, well done, well done. Good job. Absolutely correct. Good job. चलिए जी लिख लेते हैं यहाँ पे. Let's quickly write this down. Neena Gupta. Good job, Nipun. Gupta ji, absolutely correct. Gupta ji has given you 1 mark in your exam. You can thank him. Chaliye. Now we've already identified. Let's move on. The next question is this. The following India's largest power utility has become a signatory of UN Global Compact's CEO water mandate in 2021. See the amount of questions coming from 2021. So, bataiye ji, what is the answer quickly for this question? Power utility. What is the answer? The correct answer for this one. Let's see. Sir, paper के questions कहीं दिख सकते हैं क्या? What is this? ठीक है. So what are we doing here? We are showing you questions only, buddy. Right? So please pay attention. All these questions that we are discussing here, these are all questions which were asked in SLAT. Right? So yes, the correct answer. NGPC, well done, good job, absolutely correct, good job. Shafak, NUK, Kazi, Achal, Nipun, Kishlay, Priyal, Dipali, well done. Anna is so happy, Tukka lagya, well done, Aditi, good job. It's the best feeling ever when we randomly mark something and it gets right. Oh, nothing can beat this. NTPC, well done, Kishlay, Dipali, Bandhu, well done, well done, well done. Good job, NTPC, absolutely correct. Gives you 1 more mark in your exam. All right, let's go. Let's go to the next question. Let's see how many of you gave the correct answer for this one. Name the state which announced a 1% reservation for Telangana, for transgender in police. Right? And name the state which announced 1% reservation for transgender in police. What is the answer? Don't answer, don't give the answer as Telangana because that is not the correct one. Right? The correct answer is Karnataka. Absolutely correct. We have done this in the marathons as well. Well done, Udeshya, Tia, Shrek, Chad, Aditi, Ashutosh, Monisha, Kishlay. Well done. Absolutely correct. The correct answer for this one was Karnataka. Now, guys, where was this discussed? This was discussed in the Yes, absolutely, in the marathon session. See, so doable. If you look at the questions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions we have already done. Out of these 8 questions, easily, anyone who half prepared would have got at least 6 to 7. One more assumption got right. Very good. Congratulations. Almost सारे के सारे तुक्के मारे मैंने और सब सही. Okay, very good. Congratulations, Avi. Avi is saying that 8 of them were flukes and he got them all right. Guys, when that is the case, let me share this with you. It is actually not fluke. You have studied it somewhere. It is your subconscious memory that is coming to your aid. Right? Your subconscious memory is coming to your aid. You have read it somewhere. Now, when you see the option, you mark the same. You think that it is a fluke, but that is actually your subconscious memory reminding you answers. That is the power of revision and repetition as well. Alright, so that is why the marathon sessions that we conduct are super duper important. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Sir, क्या options नहीं दिए रहते क्या SLAT के एग्जाम में? बेटा SLAT के एग्जाम में options पेपर नहीं देते हैं हमें वापस, है ना? So these are all memory-based questions. Which of the following film was India's official entry for the International Feature Film category for the 94th Academy Awards 2022? Easiest question of them all. What is the answer, guys? Let's see how many of you gave the correct answer for the 9th question. Okay, Lasya, Pooja, well done, Achal, Shafak, well done, Pika. Absolutely correct. So the correct answer was Kuzangal. Kuzangal, which basically means pebbles. Kuzangal is the correct answer. So good job, everyone who got this one right. Well done. Great job. All right, let's move on to the next one. Next, Panjshir, also called Land of Fire Lions, is located in which country? Panjshir, that is the question. Now, this was again in news last year. The correct answer for this one is Afghanistan. Afghanistan is the correct answer. Let's see how many of you got this one right. What is the answer for this one? What is the answer? बेटा international film category बोल रहे हैं वो. Don't be confused. There are various categories. The question was international film category. Feature film. Feature film. All right. Afghanistan, everyone. Welcome. Nipun, Desha, Anna, Tia, Anchal, Chad, Aditi, Priya, Moez, Ishika, Anna, Bharti. Well done. Well done. Yes, sir. The correct answer is Afghanistan. Now let's move on to the next one now. So many questions we have done. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions we have done. Out of these 10 questions, looking at the difficulty level, I am pretty sure you have scored in excess of 7, every one of you. Right? Whatever I have seen here, 7 is the least that I am seeing here. Right? Chaliye, next question. What is the next question? Who made the longest, easiest question? What is the name of the person who came up with the longest budget speech in India? The longest budget speech in India, obviously, the correct answer for this one was Nirmala Sitharaman. Let's see how many of you got this correct. The correct answer, now this was static in nature, right? 2020 news, this is. In the year 2020, she made a speech of 2 hours and 42 minutes, almost, approximately. 2 hours, 40 minutes, 42 minutes. Nirmala Sitharaman. Please pardon me for my handwriting. You all know my father is a doctor. The genes may, you understand, right? Sitharaman, yes, Nirmala Sitharaman, 2 hours, 42 minutes long speech this was. Right, so this is the correct answer for the 11th question. Very happy looking at your scores. 8 you scored. Wow, very good. Well done. 11 questions we have discussed, guys, all of which were extremely doable. We discussed the budget in great detail. We discussed the same in various tests that we conducted while we were there. We were studying in our classes. Pretty sure all of you gave the correct answer. Good job, Pooja, Kazi, Uddeshya, Moez, Nipun, Monisha, Parth, Lasya, Pika, Anna. Well done, everyone. Get it going. All right, let's move on to the next one. The last question that we have here, 12th question was this. You can see here. Declared newly as official bird of which UT? KP. Bataiye ji, what is the answer here? For the last question, the 12th question, what is the correct answer? 9 so far. Well done. Yes, this is the bird question, Pika. Right, the bird question is finally here. What is the correct answer? College pheasant is newly official bird of which UT? So UT which is newly formed, right? A UT which is newly formed. Why? Well, this was in news, again talked about the same. Has been declared newly as the official bird of UT. Was there in the SLAT Ignite magazine as well. Very happy, Pika. Aditi, Uddeshya, Shubham, Abhimanyu, Anupam, Priya, Shrek, well done, Kapish. Very good, Arjun. Movies, yes, Jammu and Kashmir, J and K is the correct answer. 12 questions we discussed here in general awareness, right? GK, all the 12 questions we discussed. How many did you get correct? That is what is important. Tia got 8. Okay, Tia is saying 8. Rudra Pratap is saying 8. What about the rest of you? Is there any 10 here? Siddharth Khandelwal, here is the winner. 12 on 12. Well done, Siddharth. Well done, buddy. 10 questions, Sachin. Well done, 10. Wow, 10. That's awesome. Very good, very good. What about the rest of you? I can see that earlier when this question was asked, most of you shared that the easiest section was legal. Your GK, only 7% of you said GK was easy. Now I can see there's a change in the stat. More number of students saying it was easy. Aryan also saying 10. Wow, 8. Anuj, Achal, Pika, 11, 10 correct for Aryan. Well done, guys. Well done. So yes, looking at all these questions easily, if you scored between 8 to 10, you've done a good job. But if you've scored in excess of 10, 10 plus, absolutely fantastic this is, right? That is what, the toppers actually score. But then again, guys, don't worry. The one section cannot dictate terms. In case you've missed out on a couple of questions in general awareness, we can always cover up through other sections, right? So don't be disheartened in case you did not score good here or as much as you wanted, right? Don't worry about it. We still have all the other sections, right? So don't worry at all. All right, sir, answer for second one. Second one question. What is the second question?
That's the Ministry of Social Justice one.
Acha, the Ministry of Social Justice. Yes. So the question was because I've written so much here. I'm pretty sure it was difficult for you to understand, but I dictated the same. So beggars and transgenders aim for comprehensive rehabilitation of persons engaged in begging. This was the answer, right? So beggars and transgenders aim. That was the answer.
All right. So, Abhimanyu sir, I think 4 points that came to my mind while I was listening to your analysis. First is, of course, that some students may have overestimated their own performance in GK, correct? So they initially thought that 10-12 questions would be like, they may have gotten right, but now they realize that it could be 6 to 9, which basically means that the cutoff that initially students were thinking would be 55 out of 60 and whatnot. It will come down. Don't worry about it. That's number one. Number second, I realized that you guys have done a very good job in GK. You knew things that an average person will not know. Third thing I realized was that even I should attend Abhimanyu sir's sessions for GK because the questions straight away came from the sessions he took. And fourth, I think Abhimanyu sir, the Ignite magazine that we have is absolutely useful, productive, effective. It's a game changer. I think that's the right word. And therefore, remember guys, if you are preparing for the next year or if you're thinking of any other exam, please don't miss that magazine. That's going to be a game changer, especially in the GK section. Correct?
Absolutely.
So,
agree to the teaser.
Absolutely. So we will quickly go back to some of the other slides and we'll see what else we need to discuss. Correct? So,
right.
We will go back to, we were discussing exam structure. No. Okay. Just a second, sir.
I'll clear.
Yeah, just clear that. Yes. So now we have it. Just a second, sir. I think we are facing some trouble here. This one, sir, is vanishing. I think there's some.
But let's write them down, sir. I'll write
sure.
whatever is there on the slide. Right?
Right.
So let's start with the first topic, that is blood relation. So there was one question here.
I think there's a timer issue here. We can try to correct it. Just give me a second, sir.
Sure.
No. I think we'll have to go back.
I'll write it for
Sure.
you in my handwriting. Pardon me for my handwriting. Oh, it's here. Oh,
It vanished. There must be a timer issue there. Yeah.
Right.
Or maybe you can read it out, sir. That would also be okay. Students are aware of the question pattern already.
So, sir, one question was there on blood relations.
Okay.
Can you see the slide, sir?
Yes, I can see your writing.
Right, sir. So, this is what was there on the slide that we were just showing the students.
Right.
Sure. Please take it forward, sir. Logical reasoning.
Okay, just a second.
So yes, guys, there was one question on blood relations, one question on course of actions. Till the time sir, figures things out at his end, I'll quickly share some certain things here. So coding, decoding, there were 3 questions, and then odd one out. There was a question from that as well. Right. Apart from this, there were other questions as well, which will show you till the time. Yeah. So first, let's talk about logical reasoning. Yes. So sir, please feel free. You can continue. So let's carry on. Even if this is the issue, don't worry about it. Whatever there
Abhimanyu, can you just erase this writing?
Erase?
Yeah.
Done.
First.
Yes, the one question was tough. Agreed. Lots of students are agreeing that one question was tough in logical reasoning. So Delhi State Board based university may admission. Why are you thinking on these lines? Think about the college that you want to go. Why do you want to go there? Think on these lines only, right? Don't focus on options which are your D options and E options and 5th or 6th option. Don't talk about them. Focus on the options that we have in our hand. So let's go. Let's continue, sir. Let's if there's an issue in the slide, so let's move on to the other
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
Meanwhile, we'll figure out. Hope टूट गया कोई बात नहीं. Even if that is the case, Roma, don't worry at all. If you were expecting more marks, if you've gotten comparatively lesser marks, don't be too hard on yourself. It is completely okay. Don't be too hard. There is always a next time. In probably 4 to 5 months of time, you'll get another shot at CLAT. This is the first batch wherein you're getting this opportunity. Make the most out of it, right? Most of the students will be doing this mistake of studying for their board while they have an opportunity to study this. So that is the time you can make the most out of the opportunity that is there in front of you, right? All right. Nagpur cutoff is expected this much, sir. We'll talk about the same as well. Does SIU post answer key? They've not shared the paper with you yet. Why expect answer key from them? Where will you check the answer key from? Right? You don't even remember the questions. अब एक चीज समझ आई, जितना हो सकता है मॉक्स देना चाहिए. जल्दी समझ में आ गई. हम जब बोल रहे थे तब. So the student has asked that finally they've understood the importance of general awareness. Finally they've understood the importance of this person or that person has scored this much, so I should have also scored this much. Each person is different, so don't worry about anything. All right, so let's start with legal reasoning, sir.
Absolutely. Yeah. We can do that.
All right. So let's talk about legal reasoning. Now, when we talk about legal reasoning, all the 12 questions were absolutely easy. They were doable as well, right? All the 12 questions came from, most of them were there, which were done by you guys in the classes, in the practice tests, in the mock tests. That is where you guys completed the legal reasoning questions. All of them were extremely doable. If we talk about The difficulty level we've discussed, it was easy. Let's move on to the next point.
Here, Abhimanyu sir, I think two questions are very relevant that we should take up from the students.
Yes.
One is the role of WAT and PI in the final selection. That I think a lot of students are asking that we need to answer.
And we'll definitely do the same, sir. For
right,
sure.
Absolutely, and
Cutoffs.
correct. After we have discussed that, so that is one question we would definitely take up, guys. So just stay tuned for that. Sir would take up that question after we discussing this.
Absolutely. So let's move on to the next point, sir. Next point, please. Mostly questions contain civil law concepts such as contract and torts. So yes, there were lots of questions which were torts. Based on torts, it's absolutely easy, doable. You guys have done this time and again. Ishika is saying that it was absolutely easy. Udesh is saying that it was confusing. But why was it confusing? Communication of acceptance, absolute liability. The questions came from such topics which were absolutely doable, right? So if I were you, I would be celebrating right now because this was a section which was absolutely doable. Look at this, criminal and civil, right? 12 questions, easy. Some civil questions were moderate difficulty, but then again, if you are someone who's practiced a lot for ALET, for you've given lots of mock tests, I'm sure you benefited immensely. If we talk about the topics from which the questions were asked, so one question or some questions were there on these topics. I'll write this for you. So absolute liability, again, very easy, completely doable. Absolute liability. Then there was question on negligence as well. There was question on vicarious liability. Rest went superb, sir. Kya baat hai? Very good, very good. Vicarious liability. Then there was also a question on communication of acceptance. Among other things as well. Now, if we talk about all the difficulty levels, again, you guys have said yourself that it was completely doable. If we talk about negligence we all know is a topic which you've done in a dedicated session plus one the revision as well. So numerous times has been discussed by our mentors here at BYJU'S Exam Prep. So Nivedita ma'am, Surjit sir, both of them have discussed this in great detail with all of you. Minor making contract was also there. All right, so let's write this down. Very good. Do share the topics, guys. Minor contract was also there. Very good. What else? Detainment. All right, very good. Detainment. There was a question on detainment. This is what you guys are sharing. That is what I'm writing. There was a question on detainment as well. Sir, it was absolutely doable. Very good, very good. Sir, next year SLAT B Dungi. So why did you give it this year? Understand this. Listen to your mentors. If your mentor has said that you have to give this exam, that exam, you have to give it, right? If you start, behaving like a person who knows it all, right? Then there is no scope of learning. Even the best archer in the world, that was Arjun. He also, when he went to Dronacharya, he was blessed with everything that an archer could learn. Even then, when he further went to heaven, I know it's a, it's an epic, but still, when he went to the heaven, he learned from the teachers there as well. One of which was a person who was a dancer. He did not ridicule them. He did not say that I am such a big archer. Why should I listen to this person? And you have to understand that every subject is important. Every advice that the teachers and mentors are sharing is absolutely super duper important. Right? So yes, kidnapping. There was also question on kidnapping. Again, guys, so easy, right? Kidnapping. If we talk about kidnapping, then there was wagering agreement as well. Again, wagering agreement, we all know what they are, right? If the outcome is uncertain, in that case, the contract is void. Act of God, kidnapping, watering agreement. Very good, very good. So agreed with all of you. Absolutely doable. This session was. If I were you, I'd be aiming for absolutely 12 because there was not a single question which was trickier. It was all completely doable. So if I talk about these 12 questions, guys, what do you think? How much are you expecting in these questions? I am sure that given the amount of practice that you guys have done, you know that how many correct answers you would be getting in this particular section. Do share the same with me. Analytical was difficult. All right, understood. What about this one?
Manu sir, can you just remove this writing from the screen?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, thank you. So, Manu sir, this is a question that is memory based, and would you like to show it to the students, or would we skip it?
So now that we've showed it, so let's go on.
Okay.
Principle, there was this principle you can see, no person shall be allowed to take benefits of his own wrong. Fact is given here. Pankaj and Tushar plan a burglary in a specific showroom where they decide to enter during night by breaking the window on ground floor. Tushar breaks glass window and enters but negligently leaves behind broken glass, of which Pankaj is badly injured while entering school. It's such an amazing coincidence. The same question I saw in the Telegram channel a few days back. The same question, just that the name was not Pankaj. Someone asked, a student, I don't remember who that student was. Do share your name here if you are watching this video. Because I know someone shared this question and you guys gave the, answered this with real ease. Everyone is saying A. They are successful in stealing, and Pankaj gives a larger share with him. Later, Pankaj decided to sue Tushar for the injury that has been caused to him. So Pankaj will not succeed because he himself has committed an illegal act, as goes with the principle. Well done. Absolutely fantastic. Kazi, Shafi, Aditi, Anupam, Archana, Ishika, Akshat. Well done. Ishwarya, Agrita, A is absolutely the correct answer. Let's move on to the next one. Let's go. The next question, here we go. We can see the second question. The principle is, if a person intentionally applies a force on another person, it is actionable in law. Fact is that A is sitting on a chair outside his house. Slide, sir, if you could just
Yes,
issue the slide.
I'm just trying to bring that slide back.
So pretty sure you remember the question, guys. A is sitting on a chair outside his house when B, who is riding a bicycle, collides with A. After he loses control, A falls from his chair, gets bruises in his arms and legs, but is not seriously injured. What is the liability of B in this situation? Now, this is the question. There are 4 options. Let's look at them.
So options are not present.
Options are not present. As you know, it was memory based. So
yes.
Then again. So this was your, look at the difficulty level, like in principle fact based. So if you are someone who's preparing for the year 2023, see this and understand that the previous year paper of ALET, CLAT and other entrance exams still hold great importance, as we can see through this, right? So principle fact based questions can be practiced through the previous year papers easily. Chaliye, let's move on. Not liable without intention was the answer for this one. Very good. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Yes, not liable. Very good. Kazi, very good, buddy. Ishika, Aditi, Movies, well done, Shafaq. All right, let's move on. Negligence is designed as a breach of duty. The definition of negligence is given in the principle. All right, and a reasonable person would do or not do. So a reasonable person is also in the mix. Let's discuss about the facts. S has planted a wild plant in his garden for aesthetic feel. These are blueberries on the plants, which are beautiful, but you can see S's neighbor has a pet squirrel in his garden, and the squirrel ate some berries and died instantly. And now H wants to prosecute S for negligence. Is this actionable? So happy, sir. No legal knowledge was asked. But It's very easy, and even if legal knowledge was asked, I'm sure you were pretty much equipped to answer all the questions. Right? Negligence is designed, look at the essentials of negligence that is mentioned here. Breach of duty, so there should be a duty, of course, duty to take care, breach of that duty, and damage as a result. Three essentials of negligence. Very simple. What are the three essentials? Number one is there should be duty to take care. Second, okay, I'll write it here so that it's visible to every one of you. Three essentials. And number one, there should be a duty to take care. Second is that there should be a breach of that duty. Please pardon me for my handwriting. Breach of the duty. And third is there should be damage as a result of the breach. Now check whether the essentials are being met here. Simple as that. Alright, so Akshat is saying succeed, some of you are saying not succeed. Now look at the essentials and you get your answer. Right? Bataiye jara. A wild plant in his garden for aesthetic feel. Are you not allowed to do that? Negligence. Options are required, sir. Absolutely. So just liable or not liable is what we are aiming for. Liable or not liable. Is this negligence or not? Yes, sir. Negligence hai, negligence hai. Breach of duty. So what was the duty of S? What was the duty of S in this case? If that is the case, what is the duty of S? S has planted a wild plant in his garden for beauty. You're not allowed to do that. There are blueberries on the plants which looks really beautiful. A squirrel comes and you are saying he's liable for negligence. Squirrel, how will you protect squirrels from eating, eating your plants? And if they die, you are liable for negligence. Was there duty to take care? Was there a breach of duty? The answer is no, guys. Come on. Then again, we'd have to look at the options to understand what was the option. And warning, arey beta, squirrel, there's a squirrel who has entered. There is a squirrel who has entered. Right? So don't be too confused here. Alright, so that's the answer. That's it for legal reasoning. We saw how easy, how doable these questions were. Let's move on to the next section, analytical reasoning, and sir will take you through the answer. All right, sir, all yours.
Yes, so again, one thing is becoming very clear that if you guys were attending our sessions regularly, practically everything was covered, right? You take that message home, and what Abhimanyu sir was talking about in terms of Arjun learning all his life, that's the critical component of success. If you want to succeed, please remember you have to do the hard work, you have to listen to your mentors, and more importantly, you have to do it on a consistent basis. Now, right now, because this exam is memory based in terms of exam paper, we obviously do not have the paper, etc. So we are able to show you the kind of questions that came, and not the real questions currently or right now. But if you look at it, probably one thing that you can see very, very clearly is that every single difficulty level, in terms of difficulty level, every single question was easy except one here, which was on geometric progression. At the same time, remember, this is based on your preparation level. If you are not prepared, all these questions can be very clearly hard for some of you, or it can be easy if you are well prepared. So if you have not done that, very clearly it would be a big problem. I hope you get that point. Now, 2 points, Abhimanyu sir, here I would like to bring forth, I think, very critical 2 points. One is,
Yes, sir.
When we take sessions, when we take our students through a number of sessions, one particular question I have seen from students is that is this chapter relevant? This does not come in CLAT, this does not come in LAT, this does not come in that exam, this exam. The reason why we teach you in a very comprehensive manner is that you simply cannot predict the level or the type of questions in any exam. correct? The pattern is generally based on what happened last year, but there's no guarantee it would be repeated. And that is why preparing in a very comprehensive manner is the only right way of doing it. Now, if you look at the topics here, they are practically like covering all the different topics that can be asked in analytical reasoning, and some of them can be called pure mathematics or simple mathematics. For example, TSD or probability or time and work. So if you have excuses like I do not have the right background, I'm not good at maths, I can't do this, I can't do that, these kind of excuses won't work here. If you're targeting next year, I hope this works as a timely warning as well, that you have to take all the chapters seriously and you have to prepare thoroughly. There is nothing else you can do, right? Do we have any questions that we need to answer here, sir? Bhavya Mittal is talking about that horse case. Manu sir, I remember studying that in my law college as well.
So
correct.
But then again,
yeah.
We need more details.
Data.
On this,
exactly.
Right. So if, for example, if there was a a bull or someone
correct.
who enters into your property,
right?
Then the example that the person is sharing is of an open field. Here we are talking about a private garden. So correct. In a garden, it's your space. You are free to do whatever you want. A squirrel, which is a wild animal, how can you protect a plant against a squirrel? How can you protect it from eating berries? Right. Think on these lines, and you know what the answer is. Right? Exactly. I'd like to believe that. I think
without the entire picture and options in our front of us, it's hard to answer that question, because if we keep on changing data, the answer will change. For example, let's say tomorrow somebody talks about pet ants, saying that they entered your house and they ate some sugar and they died and that sugar was poisonous. Then this liability thing will go on and on and on. I think that is very important, but it's a good question. Squirrel in place of that horse changes it drastically. Now in this section, I haven't really gone through the questions one by one, but I think based on the feedback,
I'd just like to throw in some details here, sir.
Right.
So the difficulty level of all the questions, barring the geometric progressions, was absolutely easy, doable, as the students and as Ankur sir and the teachers
Correct.
here at BYJU'S Exam Prep have shared. So geometric progressions were a little difficult,
right.
But probability was absolutely doable. Time, speed, distance, time and work. If you are someone who has given all the mock tests, you practiced for ALET, practiced for CLAT as well, I am pretty sure you guys would have scored real easy here. All the marks were, because in this particular section, the time was time was of you can say the 12 questions required at max at 10 to 15 minutes. Right. You could have compensated it because you saved a lot in other sections. So definitely, even if you spent 15 minutes here, it was doable. But the problem is that why most of you were not able to score as much as you would have liked is because of lack of practice of analytical reasoning. Be honest and do share if that is the case.
So yes, I think right now students need to tell us in this section what was their attempt level.
Absolutely.
And more importantly, how many do they think they'll get right? Because here also a few students, I'm pretty sure, will overestimate or underestimate their own attempts. Correct? And this also reminds them that why solving quant-based questions, taking them seriously, is so important, right? So do attend the sessions that we keep on doing on YouTube, on our apps, without fail, if you are targeting the exams next year, that is 2023. Correct, sir? Am I right?
Absolutely, sir. Agreed, sir. Agreed.
Okay, so in this section also, please let us know, everybody, what was your attempt and what's the number accuracy that you are expecting. So this is what we think about the reading comprehension part. So in reading comprehension, I'll be very, very quick here. I think broadly, the length of reading comprehension cannot be really called lengthy, cannot be called too long. Average, I think the feedback that we got was around 200 words, which is on the lower side. They were comprehension wise, they were very doable, they were easy to understand, and I think solving all the questions correctly in reading comprehension as per the feedback that I'm getting is quite doable. Am I right, sir? Oh, Abhimanyu sir has, yeah,
Absolutely, sir. That is what we've heard, sir. Absolutely.
absolutely,
You would know better.
absolutely. So, paper was easier. It was almost a copy of what they did in the last year paper. Right now, one thing that we have seen in SLAT paper is that the reading comprehension passages generally are around law. They don't really become very eclectic. They don't pick up topics from a lot of wide areas. They broadly restrict themselves to law. So they want students who have been reading law related stuff, so which I think is what they did this year also. And if you look at the topic distribution, the law word is very, very prominent: high court, law and law. So you can very clearly see all the 12 questions, they had the same background. The paper, broadly the section was easy, and you guys can let me know how did you do in this particular section. Though I think, based on the feedback that I've got so far, in this section students are typically saying that they are expecting 10 out of 12 on an average, but that's the expectation part. Of course, it can be more or less depending on the way you solve the paper, right? But let me just have a look at the chat. Aditi says 8 or 9. I think Aditi, you're talking about the previous section.
Yes, sir, they are.
Right, yes.
Talking about the previous sections.
Correct. I think for the previous section we are getting around 9, 8 to 9, which is a good score in the quant section, definitely.
Analytical reasoning, yes.
Analytical reasoning. Ishika, I think 10. Ishika, I think you're talking about this section.
Yeah.
Right. Aditya says vocab questions were confusing. Okay. Now, Aditya, that would depend entirely on the preparation level, but I think based on the feedback that I've gotten so far, about 10 out of 12 was doable, right? Majority of the students would end up doing around 10 out of 12 for sure. Archana will answer that question in a while, in a short while, don't worry, okay? All right, so moving on. Now, GK sir, we have already discussed.
We've already covered GK,
but this is a broad topic idea, so you can have a look at it.
So we did discuss
absolutely
question twice, yeah. So
yeah.
You can see all the questions that were asked.
Right.
Again, the difficulty level of all of them was easy, doable, just like we discussed.
Absolutely, we have discussed this already in the beginning. So if you're watching us or you joined us later, please know that we have already done the discussion of these questions. Manu sir has done the discussion already in the beginning of the session.
Right. So
now the most important, most awaited section of the session, right, everybody? Now, Abhimanyu sir, you discuss it, but I will just add a pinch of salt here. Remember, guys, as we get more feedback from students, as we got more feedback in this session, very clearly picture would become clearer, right? Because right after the exam, the expectations are higher from themselves. So students typically come up with, I have done 60 out of 60, I'll get 55 out of 60. But when they cross check, when the realization sets in, the cutoff, then it starts going down, correct? So what we are showing you here, and what we think,
initial
feedback, but after the discussion with you guys and more feedback from different sources, it's very obvious that the cutoff is going to go down. So, Abhimanyu sir, I think we should moderate it by around 10%.
Having said this, sir, we also, I'd like to point it out that in ALET, we at BYJU'S, we were absolutely spot on.
Absolutely. And this time also, I'm pretty sure we would be spot on, because we are going to moderate it according to the cutoff. We are not saying, listen, we know everything and what we say is the final word. No, it's based on the live feedback that we're getting from students and you guys who are watching us right now online. So here are the numbers, sir. Please take students through them.
Alright guys, so here we go. So you can see, based on your feedback, this is what we have expected. The cutoffs for the year 2022. If we talk about Symbiosis Pune, we can see 50 to 52 is what we are seeing. It should be the cutoff, but even if you have scored 48, 49, you still stand a chance. You know that BBA is also course. The cutoffs we're talking about here are different. As we know, there are two courses that they offer, BA as well as BBA. So BA cutoffs are of course a little higher. So don't lose hope thinking that you have not scored 50, you have scored 48, 49 and 47 and what will happen, right? These are all, these are all predictions, real accurate predictions, but predictions nonetheless, right? So 48 to 49 BBA stands good chance. If we talk about symbiosis, Noida, this is the in order of your preference as well, guys. First, second, third, and fourth. Yeah. So symbiosis Pune 50 to 52 is the expected cutoff. Symbiosis Noida, the expected cutoff is 43 to 45. Symbiosis Nagpur 41 to 43. Hyderabad 32 to 35. This is what we are expecting, guys. In order to go to SLS Pune, if you secured anything above 45, you stand a good chance. But remember, guys, this is not the only thing that you are supposed to do. After you are done with the cutoffs, there is WAT, there is a personal interview, and all of this, which also has to be kept in mind. All right. So is SLS Nagpur good? But now it depends on what options do we have. If we have no options with us, then might as well go and study there. If you can afford to take another shot at CLAT, do that. If you have you already applied for MHCET, which you should have, we told you that you should do this. If you have already done that, great job, well done. Focus more on MHCET in case you end up in SLS Nagpur. If you are from Nagpur itself, then probably you don't want to go anywhere else, and then it's okay. Else, if you're someone who's there in West Bengal or in Tamil Nadu or in Kerala and Rajasthan and Gujarat, and you're thinking of going to Nagpur, makes no sense, right? This is my honest, unfiltered advice to all of you, right? It's a budding college. Same goes for Noida as well. The only advantage Noida has that it is in Noida, the location advantage that is there, easily connectable. Connected with all the cities, and even if you want to go home, it's much better in terms of providing options from Noida. That is the only thing. Otherwise, it's also a budding law college, and Hyderabad again also a budding law college. Both both the courses that Symbiosis Pune offers, that is something which you should be targeting. If you have other options as well, if you have MHCET with you, you have national universities with you, obviously national universities are to be opted rather than going to any of these Symbiosis colleges, right? Is SLS Hyderabad good? I am sure I won't be able to get Pune, so or should I go with MHCET? I just answered this question, Monisha. Pretty sure you have received the same. Yes, MHCET, you should be targeting, of course. Give everything you have got. In the year 2020, we conducted an interview. Last year, that is 2021, we conducted an interview with Lakshita Jain, right? A student from BYJU'S Exam Prep secured AIR 15 in MHCET. Right, so in the year 2020, she secured AIR 15. She interacted with us last year. Do check that out. She was done and out. She gave all the exams. She had no other option left. She gave everything she had to MHCET and got All India rank 15, studying in GLC Mumbai, one of the best colleges in India. Right, so and the fee is ridiculously low. The 5-year fee is less than what you pay for an entire year in national in 1 year of national universities or other such private colleges, right? Clear, guys? And we leave Sonipat versus SLS. Of course, national university will opt for that. Which symbiosis you're talking about? Where are you from? What is your age? Lots of other factors are also of great importance to help you out with this, right? Which private college is best? Which are the other options? We'll be conducting a dedicated session tomorrow on the same on our BYJU'S Exam Prep CLAT YouTube channel.
Right.
Do check it out. It is available. The video is there for all of you guys.
And Abhimanyu sir, I think just need to add one small conditions apply so that students don't get weird ideas, because sometimes students do get weird ideas. Is that to be on the safer side, that you have to subtract 5 marks from the higher end that we have given. So that will give you a very good idea in terms of where should you be, right? So for example, if you're looking at this SLS Pune 52 is what we are looking at on the higher side. So if you have scored, as Abhimanyu sir rightly pointed out, if you have scored 52 minus 5 around 47, you are safe, you can expect a call. Am I right, Abhimanyu sir? And
Yes,
same is true with Noida 45, so you can subtract 5, and if you have done about 40 or getting about 40, you can expect. So this gives you an idea about where you stand right now, okay?
Right.
And accordingly you can take a call. So anything else, sir? Because we are almost at the towards the end.
See, basically, every one of you has to understand what KD sir just said. Don't lose hope as of now till the time the results are not out. Anything is possible. Don't think on these lines. NUK is saying that 2020's cutoff was different. Why is it different this year? Obviously, the questions, the 40-42 cutoff that you are talking about, the number of questions were also more than 60 back in the time, and the difficulty level was also moderate to high. This time round, difficulty level is so easy. You saw the questions, you saw such easy, doable questions there were. So, hence, we are expecting a higher score here. But don't worry. Again, these are all predictions, as we said. Pretty accurate one, but predictions nonetheless.
Absolutely. So,
sir, a little info about lots of confusion there was before we end up. Let's have certain discussions about VAT and PI. First of all, the VAT, not every student will get an opportunity to appear for VAT and PI.
Correct.
Only the ones who clear the cutoff
right.
will go for VAT and PI. The results will be published hopefully in a week or two. 12th July they have shared with us. So let's see. After that, they'll call you for VAT. Written ability test, they'll be checking lots of things there. KD sir will be talking about VAT in more detail once I'm done. And then there will be personal interview as well, wherein you have to showcase the best version of yourself. That does not mean that you say something which is false. Just be confident, and we'll be conducting a video dedicated for the same as well. So do check.
Right, sir. We would take care of the WAT thing separately, of course. So don't have to worry about that. But I think, sir, we need to answer one question that Anamika Singh has asked. I think that's relevant for a lot of students. It's not a question, it's more like,
Yes.
a perception students carry. Okay, so I think you should answer that.
The answer is yes, Anamika. If you opt for BLLB and BBLLB, your chances will definitely increase. Do not think of saving 1,000 rupees, by not applying for one course. Don't do that, especially for Pune. Absolutely go for both. Apply for BLLB as well as BBLLB. You can opt for BLLB if you are qualified in both the courses. Opt for BLLB. Why do I say this? Is because it is much easier. In any case, if you find BBLLB much more interesting or doable, do that. Go with that. At the end of the day, you will be a lawyer. Does not matter BLLB or BBLLB. But yes, in terms of cutoffs, BBLLB is lower. So yes, definitely opt for the same.
Yeah, in fact, even from experience, I can tell you that when you do an LLB program, you are just an advocate when you graduate, right, sir? You do not really become a graduate with BCom degree or BBA degree. You become an advocate, and then you practice, and then you build up your own area of expertise, and then accordingly life takes you through all that. So please do not worry too much about whether you're going to get a BA or BBA. These things are basically nomenclature. They don't really make a lot of difference in terms of final outcome in terms of your career. We would, so, of course, yeah.
Here, Archana has asked a question, a very good question. Sir,
right.
Cutoff will be decided after VAT and PI. So, beta, this is what I have shared with you, the weightage of cutoffs, how cutoffs are designed. Overall cutoff, this is the expected cutoff. I'll write this for the written test that was conducted, or the test that you just gave today.
Correct.
Right. So that test weighs 50%, VAT weighs 20%, and the PI 30%. This can change a bit each year by year basis, but this is just to give you a general idea. Overall, everything will be added: 50% this score, 20% this, 30% this, and then the overall score. Based on that, you will be called for admissions.
Correct.
Do keep this in mind.
And in WAT, just remember, guys, you might have a different separate session on that, but let me tell you just two very important things about WAT. A lot of students typically think that WAT is all about impressing the readers or the professors who are going to read your WAT. Please remember, that's one of the biggest myths. Okay, when you try to impress someone, the result is generally the opposite. Okay, so don't do that. Then what do? Please don't write to impress, you write to express. Okay, it's a very famous statement. I hope you have heard about it. In short, please remember, what they're looking for is two things. Can you express your opinion? And second, do you have an opinion? Because most of us nowadays get educated by WhatsApp universities and things like that. We hardly have opinion. They are scared of that. They want to check, A, do you have opinion about a topic if we give you that topic? Second, can you express that? Because as an advocate, tomorrow you would be writing briefs, tomorrow you would be writing a lot of things, and therefore they want to be sure that you know how to write, how to express, and not really to impress. Okay, so avoid using hard words, avoid using longer sentences, and more importantly, just focus on what you think about it rather than just trying to impress people. Second thing about WAT is, of course, you have to have an opinion, which I hope you have been forming throughout the last 6 months or 1 year of preparation. If you have not been doing that, just look at the current topics, current affairs topics, and ask yourself, what do you think about it? What's your opinion? And then just write down 5 points about those opinion points, and then think, how would you really write them if they ask you to express that in a written form. More about it in some other session. I hope you found these 2 pointers useful, and you would use them when you go for your WAT. Right, sir? Any other question that we are left with?
I think we have covered everything in
Absolutely.
detail,
Absolutely.
So let's wind this session up.
Absolutely, sir.
All right. So yes, that will be home proctored in all likelihood. Right. So if in case there is any changes, the SLAT body will definitely reach out to us. They will definitely say the same. Don't worry about it. It will not be the case that you do not know where will that be, and the exam is already done and you'd be unaware, right?
Correct.
Don't worry. We'll be talking about the same. We'll be discussing about the same dedicatedly, as KD sir said.
Yep.
So don't worry at all. We'll meet again in another session. I had a great time. Thank you, sir, KD sir.
Thank you so much, sir. And
I had no idea itni jaldi time chala gaya. In 1 hour,
correct.
36 minutes.
And thank you every single person who has been with us in the last 90 minutes. Thank you so much, guys. All the very best. I hope you found the session useful, and you would come back for more sessions that we are planning for you guys in the coming days. Thank you so much, everyone. Please take care.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. All the best.
Bye bye, everybody. Take care.